In perusing the synopsis, I come across a game from Devolver Digital, a studio that I'm not very familiar with, at least on a first-hand glance, but I'm definitely keen to check out more titles out there. I'm a gamer who's looking to broaden his shelf beyond familiar titles, right? I've played a lot of games, of course, and ones I'm sure title-wise be familiar to many people, but I would love to experience more of the lesser-known, the fresher, maybe the more abstract, and the visionary. That's kind of what comes across here with a Plucky Squire. It's a fun name that I think definitely fits the storyline of the piece, but it has a charm to it. If you're not familiar with this new game, it started being advertised as of today. This is what it says according to the GameStop Trailers YouTube channel in regard to this video specifically for the storyline of the game. The Plucky Squire, such a fun name, follows the magical adventures of Jot and his friends, storybook characters who discover a three-dimensional world outside the pages of their book. When the malevolent Humgrump realizes he's the villain of the book, destined to lose his battle against the forces of good for all eternity, he kicks the heroic Jot out of its pages and changes the story forever. Jump between 2D and 3D worlds in this charming action-adventure, solving puzzles, boxing badgers, flying with a jetpack, and enjoying many more delightful and surprising mini-challenges as you become the hero of a living storybook. See, I could see this having a lot of appeal within mixed demographics. I'm talking about in terms of age. Adults might enjoy this, fans of Devolver Digital. Again, I'm not familiar with many, a good share of their titles, even beyond just this one, but I think perhaps fans of them will come to like this as well. I think there's obviously an element of familiarity if you know their work, I'm sure. Maybe this is something entirely fresh in terms of the look and the overall feel. Maybe they're trying something new. But I could see, the fairy tale aspect of this, at least in the name and the storyline, kind of that magical charm to it, right? That we remember as, kids. I could see that easily being enticing to younger demographics as well as adults, maybe for good family play. If there's a co-op aspect to this, I'm sure that would bring in, families together quite nicely. And I like the idea, again, when you're talking about different gameplay features in regard to like jetpack and boxing, solving puzzles. There's multiple different facets to the game's exploration of its story, and there's many things to do. But the 2D and 3D mixture style, that's going to be kind of interesting to see how that plays out. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the Plucky Squire announcement trailer. Still such a fun name. And it is coming, by the way, to many different platforms. So depending on your preference of choice, you have PC, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, I'm assuming that's S and X, in 2023. So a bit of a, ways in terms of the release date, but it sounds fun. All right, without further ado, I'm going to pull up the announcement trailer. We'll watch this together for the first time. Okay. Sam's room. This is definitely centered around kids. Now that's a creative illustrated style. Reminds me a lot of It Takes Two. They had some storybook animations. There's the 2D.
There was a plucky squire
versus the
named
3D.
Jot roamed the land in search of adventure.
So you're playing in the book?
Helping the helpless.
Do you get to see the gameplay outside of that?
Very heroic.
It's a creative idea.
Then one day he discovered something rather curious.
Okay, there he is. He jumps out of the storybook.
A world he never knew existed.
3D. There's other dimensions beyond my own. This is like a lot of fun. Has some heart to it. I like the storybook animation. It's actually kind of pretty. I mean, again, I think this definitely would fit with multiple different ages. This easily comes across me like a kid's book. So I could see this being an enticing play for the young, or for families of young children. And the parents. I mean, again, I don't know necessarily if this is co-op. I don't know if you can play with multiple players. Primarily, you're following Jot. So I'm assuming it's just one player. Maybe you're sharing a controller, but it could be great for a family play. I think you're going to have kids that are probably like, no, I don't want to give up control. It's like, it's not your turn, it's mine. I mean, it could devolve from that, but it looks fun. And I like the presentation. I like, again, the idea that he's jumping out of a story, and you're seeing the story being told many different ways. And the animations are very clean. They flow really nicely from one another. And it overall comes across as a very sweet delivery. And one that's a bit imaginative. I mean, it has a fun factor like what you expect for children's stories. But the way that this goes about exploring its plot is some of its visual imagery going or transitioning from, and I'm assuming most of this takes place in the bedroom, right, with that book. I'm assuming that's kind of what's at play here. Maybe we're not venturing beyond that. I mean, but again, we've got some time in regard to the game materializing, so maybe, they're going to be working on things to further elaborate the story into other places within the house, or maybe even outside of that. But, I mean, primarily from what you're seeing from the trailer, it's all taking place in this one child's room. Other than walking down the hallway in the introduction and being like, hey, here's the main environment. But some of the visual cues are quite interesting. Again, the transition jumping from the 2D to the 3D, I think that looks great. This image here of this rotating illustration, that's interesting. But that's, again, mixed into, I guess, the 2D style. But you can see how the jetpack materializes in two different ways. I think it looks fun. It looks charming. It looks like it has a fun fairy tale vibe in the delivery, and I think the visuals are pretty well designed. And again, like I said, it has a bit of an It Takes Two look. I haven't played that game yet, but I did cover it, and that one even had charming elements too. But based on the presentation quality and the way the aesthetics are designed, it looks like really reminiscent. I don't think that's from the same studio. Yeah, it's not. That was from a different company. What are your guys' thoughts with the Plucky Squire? Again, I love that name. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. And I know this is a bit of a fresh day's look, but, hey, it's early. We'll see in time how it best materializes, but I think for now it looks good. Has some potential. Thank you so much for watching this video. Before you bounce, feel free to drop a like and comment, subscribe to this channel with a ding on the bell, and share this video with your friends. And consider checking out the description here. There you'll find links to my other channels, as well as addresses to my other social media accounts and ways you can help support my work if you feel so inclined. May God bless you, and looking forward to when our paths cross again.